What is going on, everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. And if you're wondering where I'm at, I'll give you guys a quick little tour of my new range setup.
Hey, quit making all the... Quit. Stop making noise.
I'll do a full video soon showing the full setup, but here's a little preview.
Walking over here, look to your right. I carved out this little section of this pine tree to make a nice shaded place to perform activities. Got this plastic picnic table in here. Don't have to worry about it rotting. And boom! Like I said, I don't want to show you too much, but this is about 50 yards to all of our potential targets and whatnot. And eventually I plan on draping some tarps over these branches to make this completely waterproof so we can actually come out here in the rain.
But moving on, I know you didn't come for that. So as you guys know, we started making some trails here at the compound, and you all seem to really enjoy that, so I want to continue the series. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a few different tools that you can use to help build your riding trails. And we've got a few different options and different price ranges here, but let's start off with my new toy. We finally got ourselves a machete. Somebody actually commented that after the first video, and I was like, you know what? I don't have a machete anymore, and I've been wanting one. So I actually bought one of the cheaper options, but that had the best reviews. This is made by the Ontario Knife Company, made in the US. This is military grade. I guess this is what some of the soldiers carry. And it's a really sturdy knife, full tang, and I look forward to testing it out today. This is on the low end of the spectrum cost-wise. You can pick these up pretty cheap, and I'll go ahead and link all of this stuff down below just in case you're interested. But I hope this thing works out. I'm pretty excited about it. Up next on the list, we just have a standard set of loppers. I built the first probably half-mile or so loop with just these alone, and they help out a lot. For the smaller stuff, it can get really tedious, and I'm hoping the machete can replace a lot of that. But when you got a sharp set of these loppers, they really help out, and you can do quite a bit with them. Another cheap option, these are the quarantine edition as well, so pretty neat. But let's move on to some toys that I'm excited to play around with today. I have not used either of these. Disclaimer, I have no affiliation with Dewalt. I wish I did. So Dewalt, if you're watching this, hook your boy up. Both of these tools are in the same price range, so let's start out with the tool that I'm most excited for. The 22-inch electric shears. Now I used to do landscaping back in the day, so I have a lot of time with shears. Gas ones though, and it's a really great tool. We definitely used and abused ours, cutting stuff super thick. I know these won't be as powerful, but I am curious to see how thick of brush we can cut and how efficient these will be. I mean, they're brand new, they're sharp, so today I'm sure we'll do just fine. And I would say the opening on the teeth is right under an inch, but we'll definitely put it to the test. I am very excited to use this. Both of these tools come equipped with the 5 amp hour battery from Dewalt. These are gonna be nice to have too, because if you remember, I just have the little pancake batteries for my 20-volt impact. So these are gonna be nice to have in general, and you also get a charger with each one. But moving on to the last tool in the lineup, and another one that I'm very excited to try out, we have the 12-inch 20-volt chainsaw. Now this thing, I have a feeling, is going to be a beast. The biggest thing with chainsaws is just having a sharp chain. If you have a sharp chain, the saw doesn't struggle. The 20-volt supplies plenty of power, and I think for something like this, it just makes sense. Not to mention, both of these tools are hearing safe, and listen to this thing. It's definitely not quiet by any means, but it's night and day difference with a chainsaw. Like, my ears would be ringing right now if I did that with a regular gas-powered chainsaw. And here's the shears for a little perspective. These are definitely quieter than the saw. And as you can see here, this is a brushless tool, so this thing spins pretty quick. You do need to use bar oil. Just because it's electric doesn't mean there isn't any fluids. You still have to use bar oil. I grew up using chainsaws. I almost lost my leg using a chainsaw, so I have a little bit of experience with chainsaws. The electric saws have always been controversial, but especially for something like this, we're not taking down full trees. We're just clearing little stuff that's in the way. I think this is gonna be perfect, and it's gonna last plenty long enough. I haven't even used this yet, and I guarantee I will enjoy this more than our steel 12-inch. But I don't want to say too much until I try it out, so let's head out into the woods and start making some trails.
Well, for the first chainsaw test, this tree has to go. It's right at the end of the range, and honestly, it's just a junk tree. So we're gonna take this thing down with the fresh chain. I will probably cut it a little bit high just so we can set stuff on the stump.
yeah, that is awesome. We're gonna attack this thick portion right here and see what this thing can do. Oh yeah, very nice.
Man, that thing just chewed through this stuff. This is not soft either. I'm gonna go ahead and take some of this small stuff out with the shears. This is gonna be no problem for those things.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna cut through this. This is pretty thick. So for any of you that haven't seen my first trail making video, you might want to give that a watch. I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen. But this first section
Comes through here, and this is what we already have cleared out, and it just cuts over there into the field. But it's hard to tell. There's a game trail right there that kind of goes through this archway of trees, so I wanted to be able to ride my dirt bike through there. So with a combination of these tools, I think we can make it happen. So let's give it a try.
Hey buddy, you helping out? It's a nice day to be outside. Well you guys, I just wanted to check in. It's been probably 45 minutes to an hour. What are you doing, bud? Keeps pulling sticks back into the trail we just made. That's okay, I still love you. But it's been about an hour, and as you can see, the tools that I'm reaching for is the chainsaw and the hedge trimmers. They just make it so easy. But we haven't even gone down a single bar of battery life on either tool, and I've been using them pretty consistently. Yes, they'll wear out over time, but if you take care of them, maintain the charges properly, they will last a long time. So this is definitely exciting. I think the best part about it is you just don't have to let these things idle. Like with the gasoline, you're not gonna turn them off all the time, so they're gonna be constantly idling, using fuel, and I guarantee I would have had to fill one of them up already. So this is really a game changer for me, and I think the tool that I'm most enjoying so far is probably the chainsaw. I've been asking quite a lot out of the trimmers. They're both great in their own ways, and it really is nice to have both of them. But this stuff just doesn't really work with the machete, so I have another section of trails that we're clearing out that is a little bit more equipped to use a machete. But a lot of this stuff is just thin branches with thicker trunks that I have to cut with the chainsaw. So we'll give the machete a try here in a bit. What do you think, Diesel? What's your favorite tool? He's loving it. Usually with some of the gas-powered stuff, he stays pretty far away, but he's been following me along and been enjoying the tools, huh? I think it's a game changer. Ciao, ciao, buddy. So apparently the hedge trimmers do not like barbed wire fence. Not quite sure why. But yeah, I was over here going crazy with the hedge trimmers, and sure enough, we got tangled up in some barbed wire. This is just an old farm fence that's been beaten down over the years. Barely even picks up on camera. But I'm not quite sure why the teeth didn't enjoy that. I mean, I know I like chewing on metal. Yeah, that is a bummer. 3 of these teeth need sharpened, and some of them are pretty bad. But just a little pro tip for you guys: watch out for fences. Diesel, why didn't you spot that? Luckily we have ye old bolt cutters, and we're gonna go ahead and take this section out. Shorty bad with the sketches on. Oh, what do you think, bud? What in the heck? Oh man, that wind is crazy. Ha. It was only a matter of time. I mean, this is calling for a flat tire, or even worse than that. Somebody come through, and somebody get impaled or something. Trying to get most of it out of the ground here. Man, this stuff is no joke. Ah! Get out of there. Ah. Oh, whew. Feeling it in my rotator cuffs a bit. But after a long day of testing out these tools, which one is my favorite? I'll tell you which one's my favorite. This right here, man. It's the cheapest, it was the most fun to use, it was also the most difficult to use, and there's just a skill to it. It's an acquired skill, and obviously the more time that you have with something, the better you'll get. This thing was just a lot of fun to use, it was very effective, but the downfall of this is the little stuff. This does not cut up the little tiny branches very well. So that is where this thing came into play and did absolutely amazing, minus the barbed wire. But this thing was an absolute pleasure to use. But realistically, this thing takes the cake. This just opens up a whole bunch of possibilities, and this performed remarkably well. It would help to get a better chain on here. I'm not a huge fan of this chain that comes with it, but for your money, this thing is definitely a winner in my book. I couldn't have done half of the stuff that I did today without this tool. And you may be wondering where the fifth tool is. These right here, guys. I don't know if you noticed in the video, but multiple times I was just pulling things out of the ground, breaking stuff off with my hands. And that's how I started a lot of these trails. These tools definitely make a huge difference. Obviously, you can't break big stuff down with your hands. The loppers, I did not use at all today. There was just absolutely no point. These are so slow to use compared to the power tools, obviously. And this thing didn't cut as thick of stuff as I was hoping, but it did a very good job. But if I had to choose one to live with, it'd have to be the chainsaw. I mean, obviously this thing is so cheap, you might as well just get one as well. And this is something that you can just keep on your body in addition to this. But I'm super excited to have this around, and it's really gonna help out in the future. But this machete was definitely the most fun to use, and I look forward to playing around with this thing for years to come. Really happy with this purchase. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching. I had multiple comments wanting to see more trail building videos, so here it was. Let me know if you want to see any more, and let me know what you think of the trail system so far. But if you had to choose any of these tools, which one would it be? And also, which tool do you think I should try next? But if you're new here, we do daily uploads on the channel, so make sure you have those notifications on. And until tomorrow's video, I'll see you then.